I want to take y'all into two different stories on two different brothers. The first one is James Demouchette versus the state of Texas. Texas' meanest death row inmate. James was executed in 1992 by the state of Texas. The Houston Chronicle did 5 articles on James in the 80s, leading all the way up to 1992, followed by the New York Times. James did a lot of things certain inmates wouldn't think about doing, from murder to rape, and the Texas Department of Correction let him do it and keep doing it for 17 years, postponing his death sentence. Now, it goes to his other brother, the new book, Eugene Demouchette versus Texas inmate guards. What people fail to understand is that Texas had inmates working as guards. They called them building tenders. They had keys to cell blocks, gates, different areas of the unit. Inmate guards were responsible for over 10,000 murders and over 15,000 rapes. The Texas Department of Correction tried to cover it up, starting the out-of-state trans program, shipping all inmate guards to out-of-state prisons in the early 80s. Inmate guards ended in 1885 by a lawsuit filed by an Hispanic man named Luis. Now, in the other part of this book is also about my brother Eugene. Eugene Demouchette here spent 17 years in the Texas Department of Correction. And a couple of years ago, the state of Texas signed a deal with the federal government stating that they don't have to pay inmates wages. They rather give them work time and good time to count towards their sentence. But the state of Texas has been railroading inmates on these issues. Eugene did 17 years on a 50-year sentence for assault, robbery by assault. And in those 17 years, the state of Texas took all his work time away from him. At the time, as of today, this is a civil rights action lawsuit that Eugene is getting ready to file on the Texas Department of Correction. This book here, I'm gonna read you a little story of this car here. They owe Eugene Demouchette over $400,000. Let me read this card to you what I wrote here. It says Eugene made parole on a 50-year sentence after stabbing 3 ranking officers while in the Texas Department of Corrections. On June 6, 1980, Eugene stabbed 3 ranking officers. Captain W.B. Hagan, which is the head of the parole board in Austin, Texas, and was his parole officer once he was released in 1988. He also stabbed Lieutenant G.C. Webster and Sergeant John S. Luis. On May 20, 1980, doctors gave Eugene Demouchette a psychiatric evaluation and stated that he was aware of his actions. On October 9th, there have been 8 prior stabbings filed against Eugene Demouchette since he arrived on the Ramsey 1 unit October 9, 1973. Question: how in the hell can an inmate make parole June 3, 1988 after stabbing 3 ranking officers and having 8 prior stabbings and no bonus time or work time? Eugene was supposed to be charged with these stabbings, but they didn't charge him with the stabbings, so they didn't have a right to take away his work time. So now, in 2012, the state of Texas owed my brother over $200,000 for free slave labor, in which they still doing. The Ramsey 1 unit is owned by the family called the Ramseys. Ramsey 1 unit is a slave plantation area. It's been there since the early 1800s all the way up to now. The state of Texas also, in 1976, Eugene and a few other inmates buried a train that was pure gold that was used during George Washington and cluster days. So now my brother is trying to get his money from the state of Texas, and the state of Texas is trying to fight it and don't want to pay him for free slave labor. Now I come here and I tell you, this been going on for too long. Texas make it seem like we living back in the 1700s, 1800s. They know they're supposed to pay inmates, and they lied to the federal government, stating that they were going to help inmates get out with their work time and good time, but yet they lied, and they using it against them to hold inmates in prison for money reasons. So that's what I wanted to share with you and let y'all know. But yeah, go get this book here, James Demouchette versus the State of Texas, Texas Men Death Row Inmate, and also look out for Eugene Demouchette versus Texas Inmate Guards. Just like I told you about inmate guards, this is a book here that'll take y'all so deep in the Texas Department of Correction. This book contains murder, rapes, assaults, murder, and everything else designed by the warden majors and lieutenants, sergeants, and captains. So y'all go get that up and see y'all when I see y'all. Peace!